Hello, Caleb. Thank you so much for taking the time today to talk about Applicant Pro and the system that you have. I get asked questions very often about questions regarding recruiting, and almost every question that I get can be answered with pointing them toward an applicant tracking system. My highest recommendation for an applicant tracking system is Applicant Pro. And so today, let's talk to HR Department of One professionals and other HR professionals and recruiters who might be on the fence when it comes to deciding what tool to use when it comes to their recruiting options.
Yeah.
So can you start by giving us an overview of Applicant Pro and its core features?
Absolutely. So Applicant Pro at its core is designed to be a one-stop shop for you to do all of your posting and all of your tracking of candidates. So the main features within Applicant Pro will be the job posting areas, which allows you to post your job one single time and go out to all the job boards, and then to be able to track all your candidates that apply through these different methods in a single location. So you can do all of your communication with your candidates, all of your tracking where they're at in the hiring process, integrated tools such as background checks, onboarding, with the new hire paperwork, everything all done in one location. It's a organizational software to help you streamline your process of recruiting.
Okay, great. Now, I know that many organizations post their jobs directly to the job boards, whether it's Indeed or ZipRecruiter and all those things. In your opinion, what's the benefit of using an applicant tracking system instead of only posting to the job boards?
Yeah, so using an applicant tracking system, first of all, saves you a lot of time, right? When you're posting to job boards, you have to post them individually in each one. So you're duplicating your work with however many times times you go onto the job boards. So that's one major issue with that, right? Whereas you can post it once here and it'll go out to all of them. You don't have to go through and copy and paste and put it in all the different formats for all the different job boards you're posting to, right? Second main benefit is you are now organizing and tracking all of your candidates from a single location as well, which means that you're not logging into Indeed and then going over to ZipRecruiter and then going over to LinkedIn and trying to track and manage candidates in 3 different systems. It's in one system, as well as all your communication to your candidates in one system. And it helps to track down duplicates of candidates. So someone in that scenario of posting directly to the job boards would be able to apply on Indeed, and then they could go find your job on ZipRecruiter, and that same applicant could apply twice. There'd be nothing stopping them from doing that, right? Whereas our system double checks it, says, hey, this is a duplicate applicant, and we'll say you've already applied to this position. So there's several other benefits, but again, those are going to help you to save you time and just organizational benefits of, hey, we don't have to worry about duplicates or worry about logging into 10 different systems to track all this.
Definitely. And it helps to streamline the process by what you were explaining there. I know when I worked as an HR Department of One, often I felt like I had to be multiple people, and a recruiter was only one piece of the things that I was doing. So this really helps to streamline that process. So thank you for sharing that. So how does Applicant Pro help employers stay compliant with hiring regulations?
Yeah, so we do have a full affirmative action and EEO requirements for reporting, as well as part of the application questions. So we do set up a custom careers page and a custom application that is fully integrated with those job boards, so that when you're posting out there, every candidate will answer the same questions, which would include the gender, ethnicity, veteran status, and disability status questions that will come in a compliance in a Department of Labor compliant method, so that only those with your admin level access would be able to run reports to get the data needed, right? And so we do have access. We allow for our clients to run these reports on their own. Both your EEO1 reporting is all available in here, so you can go ahead and click on any of these reports, run the report, and get the data that you need. This is going to be the statistical data with your numbers, okay? And then we also allow for a full affirmative action report for our clients that are submitting an affirmative action report. This will allow you to go through and get your full details on each individual. You set your date range and get the data that you need for this report. Okay.
Great. There's a lot of information that's being stored within the system. That's awesome.
And it's very easy to export these reports to a CSV file to submit it over to whoever it needs to go to. Okay, so that's the main portion of compliance when it comes to recruiting. We also have several clients that will, as part of the custom designed career site, we would be able to add in any message in the footer, like, hey, we're an equal opportunity employer, or whatever additional information you want, either in the footer or the header, or potentially in the instructions area of the application.
Great, great. And how easy is it to customize the job site?
Yeah, so we actually have two options for our clients. The most popular option is where we go through and manage this entire site for you to customize and create whatever you would like to. So it would be a simple request by email to our graphics department to be able to go through and make any changes. That's done within one business day. And so it's really easy on your end that way. We do have another option, which is a WordPress plugin. So depending on if our clients are using WordPress for their website, they can take over management of the website and put in an Applicant Pro plugin, and then they can go through and have their IT department make any and all changes that they need. Okay.
Great. Now, how does Applicant Pro help with tracking hiring metrics and reports for maybe a senior leadership team or a management team? I know often, we're asked different questions about maybe our recruiting speed and things of that nature. What are the things that we can see with an Applicant Pro to help with that?
Yeah, so we try to keep the most common reports in the dashboard. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the only place you can go. You can also, within the Applicant Pro's report area, build your own report that's specific to your unique, hey, this is the information that's important to us, and this is what we want to present. However, those specific types of overview reporting is normally managed in the dashboard. Some of the most important reports for leaderships you've seen in, like, hey, how is recruiting going, typically deals with these four types of reports. So we have source performance, job ad performance, sponsorship budget details, and then hiring speed. So I'll go over each of them really quickly, but you can set your different date ranges and come in here and get a report that shows you where are most of your applicants coming from, right? So if I go back in time and I can see over this time period, where are the top 5 sources for applicants for all jobs, so most applicants. Then it'll also go through where are you most often getting your qualified candidates from, what percentages, where are you most often hiring from, and what's your best ratio. So this is going to tell you where you should be spending your efforts as far as sourcing for your candidates. Is it going to be people? Is it going to be Indeed? Is it going to be employee referrals? Is it going to be people coming into your website? Where's the most likely, the biggest bang for your buck? So this is basically saying that for every 5 employee referrals, I hire 1. And so that's my 5th best source for the applicant per hire ratio. Okay. And then we have job ad performance. This is then going to go into each individual jobs that are open during this time period and see which jobs are getting the most applicants, most qualified applicants, and then most hires per job. Again, this will limit it to the top 5, but like I've mentioned before, in the report builder or other reports, you can actually go through and get a full list of everything. And then sponsorship budget details is anytime you use within Applicant Pro to sponsor a job on a job board, you can track that spending here, and it will again give you a very similar layout as you're seeing with the job ad performance. It'll show you the job that has been sponsored, how many applicants came from that sponsorship, how many are qualified, and how many have been hired based on sponsoring. With any of that includes Indeed, LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, all the different job boards that you want to add in budget spend. And then finally, we do have hiring speed. This is going to show you on average over time how long it takes you to hire candidates. So it'll show you that in August, I took about 21 days to hire a candidate, but in September, it took about 28 days. You can do that specific to hiring statuses or interview speed, review speed, meaning how long does it take you to get in there and change the status, or even just view speed. How long does it take you to get in there and review an applicant and pull up their application? Now you can do that for all users or individual users as well and run that report. Okay. So this is a good area to kind of show to leadership saying, hey, this is where we're at. This is how things are going so far, because you can pull in, again, as much historical data as you need. Okay.
Great, great. I love how it keeps all the information in a single space. No matter where I am, I can always log into the system and pull these numbers. So that's really great to have that. So as you go throughout the recruiting process and you're looking at applications and reviewing applicants and changing statuses, what ways are there within Applicant Pro to collaborate with other managers or members of the hiring team?
Yeah, that's a great question because Applicant Pro does allow for unlimited users, which isn't always the case with a lot of our competitors. And not only do we allow for unlimited users, but we allow for unlimited users at any access level, which means that you can kind of customize and create your own users. We give our admin level users access to add in their own users at any time. And that allows them to log in and see what they need to see that's pertinent to them, right? A lot of customization when it comes to user setup. But in addition to that, we do have options to go in and communicate internally. There's lots of different tools to communicate internally with other users in the system. So if I, again, come back to my applicant dashboard and set my filtered date range, I can do communication both individually and in mass to our other users in the system. So I can come in here and say, hey, these are my top 100 candidates or however many it is, right? And I want to do what we call spotlighting. This will allow you to collaborate with other users in the system, and they will get an email notification with whatever you put in the note and with direct links to all of those applications that you choose to spotlight over to them. Again, you can do this individually or in mass. If you do it, do send it over to them, they will have this little light bulb button where they'll be able to click on and see all the applicants that have been spotlit over to that individual. Now, that's not the only way you can collaborate. Obviously, we do have statuses. Statuses can notify any user. So as you select the status, it can automatically be set to notify a user within the system. In addition to that, we do have notes capabilities where you can add in notes on any individual application, make it say whatever you would like to. And those notes can also tag another user so they can be notified about that note that you're putting on here. Okay. And finally, we do have the follow feature. The follow feature allows anybody that's really wanting to track closely a specific application, they can click on follow, and that means that any actions that any other user takes on that application will notify them that, hey, this person just moved them into the not selected status, or they just put in a note, or whatever they've done so far on that application, they will immediately be notified. Now, in addition to having all those notifications for collaboration, it's also a full database that's live, which means that as any changes are made within an application, all users that come in and have access to that application will see the updates in the timeline area in real time with the action, the user, the date, and details about that action, right? So even if they're not specifically notified, if they have access to it, they'll be able to see and coordinate with other users if multiple people are in on the same application.
And all of those things are really the biggest things that I enjoy most about Applicant Pro, because I vividly remember having so many stacks of paper clipped and stapled documents and resumes on my desk. And then so to have everything in a single database with timestamps and things like that really helped me to be more efficient and involve others in the process. So thank you for sharing that. So with all the other applicant tracking systems on the market, what do you think are the biggest differentiators between Applicant Pro and the others? What makes Applicant Pro stand out?
Yeah, so there is a few different things that make us stand out. But I would say one thing that's a little bit new and that we're focusing in on is we have become one of the 4 platinum partners with Indeed, which means that our relationship with Indeed is they only have 4 total applicant tracking systems that are at this level. It's the highest level given. And that means that when posting to Indeed, you can have your full Indeed account connected, and all options that you had on Indeed Direct will be available within Applicant Pro. So you can do any type of sponsorship in the same way that you had. Your profile will be connected, and it will go out to Indeed in that same level without any variation. So that is a huge differentiator. That means the quick apply is there and available so that you don't lose out on any applicant traffic from Indeed, which is, again, the #1 job board in the world, right? But we have that kind of goes along with one of our biggest differentiators even before this relationship with Indeed, and that was that we wanted our job board integrations to be very applicant friendly. So we allow for profile acceptance of many different job boards, such as Monster, ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn, Indeed, where instead of them having to go outside and being able to and being redirected to apply on the company website, they would be able to, on these major job boards, apply with their profile that they've already created. This allows for a quick and easy process for the candidates to apply, but it also means that you're not losing out on applicants that are going to, especially in today's market, where they go and find a job and they realize, oh, I've got this long application process and I have to refill out everything that's already in this profile. I'm just going to go to the next job. Indeed gives us those numbers of people that have quick apply versus a redirect. The quick apply or the redirect tends to lose out on about 50% of applicants, meaning half of the applicant traffic will just immediately say, nope, I'm not going to apply. Let's go to the next job. So that integration is crucial. We also have a two-stage application process, which allows you to collect some information from applicants upfront and then more information later on in the process, which again is all designed for today's hiring market, which allows for quick, easy process for applicants to apply, no barriers to have them apply. It's mobile friendly, easy, quick, but then also gives the HR department a little bit more control to get more information from those that they're interested in moving forward with. Okay, so those are some differentiators on the job ad side as well as the candidate experience. Other differentiators would include our marketplace and our integrations. We have background checks that are available to be integrated, pre-hire assessments, new hire paperwork. We also have several different payroll systems that we can have an API integration with. So that helps for information to just flow. I know some HR people in HR tend to want an all-in-one solution, and so they'll give up some features in order to have that all-in-one solution and just go with one payroll system that also tacks on an ATS. But that tends to give up a lot in your recruitment. You're not going to be as hot getting as much applicant traffic. You're not going to have as many features for compliance and reporting and tracking. And what you're giving up could also be managed by us with just having that integration to have the data flow from one system to another. So those are some pretty significant differentiators. And then always our price and customer service, we tend to be very competitive on pricing. And then our customer service is, if you go on any of our Capterra reviews, that's actually the #1 thing that our clients are saying about us, is that they have a dedicated rep. They can always get the support they need. They don't go off into, well, I submitted this and I never heard back anything, right? We are quick to respond, giving better insights beyond just, hey, this is how you should, this is the answer to your question. We also get into, this is how you should do this, right? You need to think about this way so that you get better results long term.
And I love how Applicant Pro always keeps you updated on new things that are happening, whether it's webinars, the tips and tricks and things like that. So you guys do a really good job on the customer service side. Is there anything else you'd like to share about the system?
I think that really covers mostly what we do here. Again, just emphasizing that the quick, easy process from start to finish, both on the candidate side as well as the HR manager side and even the hiring manager, to collaborate all in one place really saves you a lot of time. And a lot of people ask, like, okay, well, what's the value in that? Yes, I could do this another way. I think that when you have an organized system, you'll realize that you will have a better process for making sure that good potential hires don't fall through the cracks. And that's really where the value comes in, right? Everybody's wanting to recruit to find better talent, to build up their business. And a lot of people don't understand the fact that if you have a disorganized system, that opens up for the potential that you will miss out on good talent. So
true. That's very true. Well, thank you, Caleb, so much for your time today talking about Applicant Pro. Again, it is my highest recommendation. I've used it for well over 10 years and I enjoy it. And it continues to get better and better over time. So I appreciate you walking us through the system and getting us an inside view of what the system can do for us. For anyone who's watching, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below and we'll circle back with any questions that you have. Have a great day.
thank you.